Sandra from Quirky Books TV. This is the place to be on how to live your best life, be your best self, and live your purpose. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. So, how to deal with today's life hack. So obviously at the moment, the UK is in lockdown again. There's a lot of people losing their jobs. The economy isn't great. There's new variants of the strain of COVID coming out, and people are having a tough time at the moment, So how can you deal with these tough times? What can you do to try and help yourself feel that little bit better, keep your sanity, and keep a sense of control over your life to a certain extent? What can you do? Right, so it's very, very important when you feel like everything around you is tumbling down to know that you can't control the outer world, you can only control the inner world. This means we have to look to ourselves and reflect upon our own life. And this is one of the good things about this type of situation and having to self-isolate and be at home more, is that gives you time to reflect. Now, if you're not using this time to reflect on your life and on yourself, you are wasting this time, right? This time is very valuable, right? So you need to give some time to self-reflect. This is the time when you should be using this time at the present to plan for what you're going to do over the coming months, over this coming year, and into the future. If you want to be on the safe side, for the next 1 to 2 years, or at least for the rest of this year, you need to kind of plan still for social distancing, all that type of thing. But there's still a lot you can be doing, right? On a lockdown, you don't have to sit there doing nothing. There are a lot of online courses you can take these days. There's books you can read. There's information that you can learn from online. There's teachers online now. There's a wealth of knowledge out there with the internet. You don't have to be sat at home just watching TV, not doing anything with your life. So you use this time as a time to reflect, and then you use this time as a time to educate yourself. Because when you educate yourself and you learn, you grow as a person, so you don't stagnate. Right? With the world the way it is at the moment, it feels like you're being ripped apart left, right, and centre. You don't know where you're coming or going, but that's because you can't control the outer world. You can't control it. It's out of your control. So you need to control your inner world, right? Have time to reflect on your future and what you really want to do. While you're in these quiet moments, is there opportunities that you can see for growth? Of course there is, right? You don't like I said, you can use this time for learning. So you have to have a learning mindset, time for reflection, and a learning mindset, a learning, developing, and growing mindset. So you have to be educating yourself. This is how you get through these tough times, by educating yourself so your brain doesn't feel dead, so you don't stagnate, so you don't feel like all your life is being taken away from you, because you are fixed and you are strong in yourself, because you're building yourself up, you're building your confidence, you're building your life skills, right? And this is how you need to do it. You need to build life skills, so you need to develop and grow yourself as a person, and in career ways, with taking online courses to maybe develop a new career, or expand on an existing one. And obviously if your jobs, you've been losing your jobs, or your industry is going down the toilet, basically like the retailers at the moment, you need to be looking at new skills like digital skills, online marketing skills, and thinking what can you do to make an income from at home, right? You need to be looking at your finances, right? To deal with tough times. You can't ignore them. They're not going to go away. So what you need to be doing is looking to get things cheaper than you would usually get. And also you need to be looking to cut down on things like subscriptions that you don't need, so that you can save money, right? Because you don't know if you've lost your job, right? How difficult that situation is. If you haven't lost your job yet, that's great, but it's not stable. The economy is not stable, right? So you have to be thinking, how much money can I actually live on if I didn't have any other money coming in? What is that money? How can I cut anything out of my current bills? By switching telephone providers, or by renegotiating a new contract with your current providers, for example, and getting your bill lowered. Right? This is some of the stuff you can do, like cancel your Netflix subscription. If you're subscribed to like a magazine, get rid of it. Don't have it anymore. right? There's tons of information on the internet. You don't need to subscribe to magazines, right? You need to be cutting all these things out. And you need to be thinking of alternatives for food. Like, is there any alternative, cheaper versions that's still going to be as healthy for you and good for you? You know, could you go to different supermarkets to get the best prices of things? But obviously there's social distancing, so you have to think of the time and that sort of type of thing. But you can go online and do shopping. You don't have to do it in person, right? I mean, I've got loads of food allergies. I have to be very careful of food ingredients and check them regularly. So I kind of really do need to be in the supermarkets rather than online, because, you know, it's just better as well, you know. And I have to check fruit for bruises and any kind of contamination of fruit and stuff. It's very, you know, so if you've got sensitivities like that, then obviously you need to be kind of looking online what the cheapest type of supermarkets are, and then if you need to plan to go to a few, go in a day, so you're being productive with your time, right? So out for a period of time doing all your shopping, getting some fresh air, and you know exactly where you're going to go and why you're doing it, and getting cheaper foods if you can, or, you know, as low cost as you can. And then you need to be seeing what budget you can, you know, live within. You know, you shouldn't be buying things you don't need right now. You should only be buying essentials like food and footwear. If your shoes have got holes in them, you need to buy new shoes. You don't want to be tripping over your shoes. Do you know what I mean? And breaking your neck or something stupid like that, right? So these are essential items that you need, right? Roof over your head, food in your belly, all these type of things. So you need to be looking at the practical side of things as well. So you need time to reflect, to learn to develop and grow yourself, to have a learning mindset. And you also need to be sorting out your finances. This means reducing your current bills, getting rid of things you don't need in terms of expenditure, and actually trying to lower your bills in general, like your food bills and stuff, as much as possible, and thinking what's the lowest amount I could pay. And also, you know, like then selling your items online. Sell your items on place like eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, on Vinted. There's a new app called, well, it's been out a little while, I think. My friends made a lot of money. Vinted, you sell your old clothes there. I made my first sale. It was only a couple of quid. But if you've got a lot of clothes items, if you've got stuff that's just lying around your home and it's not doing anything but collecting dust, you don't wear it anymore, doesn't fit you anymore, it's better to get a bit of money for it than no money for it and just have it sat there. And that brings me on to the next point, is to clear old energies, right? This is a time for actually taking charge of your life and clearing out unwanted stuff that you don't need, like, or use anymore. Getting rid of all those old energies and bringing in the new, right? Bringing in the new. Or even just decluttering because you don't need that much in your home, right? You might have noticed I've got new storage boxes now. Storage box in my, in that area. This is to tidy it up with lots of beautiful paper. Birthday, that's actually my Christmas trolls paper, and I got birthday paper that I put in the one in the hallway. So I got three big containers. Yes, they did cost money, but they just keep the place looking a lot more tidy. I'm happy with that area because it's really stressing me out. And your environment is everything when you're at home more. So another thing you need to do in these tough times is look at your environment. You know, a lot of people can't move at the moment, but can you paint? Can you redecorate what's already there so it looks better for you? Can you clean areas that haven't been cleaned for years? Can you rearrange stuff? You know, I've been rearranging some CDs and some DVDs to make way for more DVDs, because on my other channel I do film reviews. So that is a bit of an expense, because I do film reviews on my other channel. But, you know, I mean, I get a lot of pleasure, satisfaction, happiness and relaxation. It really de-stresses me. So I'm not saying you have to get rid of every pleasure. You know, if you like baking, you need to buy some baking ingredients. If baking makes you feel good, baking cakes, then go and buy some ingredients and go and bake those cakes, because you need to be lowering your stress levels. So where you lower your stress levels is partly by, you know, like, is helping your environment. You know, like I said, I was getting very fed up with that corner of papers everywhere, but when I live in a small flat, it's very difficult. You end up piling things on top of each other. But now I've put it in containers, it just feels so much better. So much better. They're a very good price as well. They were like £3.92 or something for each one, and I got 3 of them. So that was really good for me, I think, you know, like, personally. So, you know, you don't have to go mad and spend loads of money. But, you know, it's just to, like, declutter your home, tidy it up. Your environment, you spend the most of time at the moment, usually at home at the moment, unless you're a key worker and, you know, still doing your job, a gritter, all that type of thing, you know. So if you're on furlough, because I'm furloughed at the moment, then, you know, this is the type of thing you can be doing, like, you know, like getting rid of your old things. I sold an item on Facebook, type of thing you can be doing, like, you know, like getting rid of your old things. I sold an item on Facebook Marketplace as well. It was one that my dad gave me, actually, an old telescope, so I sold that. I've had it for like a long time, and I didn't sell it for much money. It was like a tenner, but a tenner's better than nothing. A guy's got a absolute bargain, he can use it, and it's decluttered some of my home. So I sold a t-shirt on Vinted. I sold that on Facebook Marketplace, the telescope. And, you know, it just helps when you sell these items. You know, £10 for food, it is just, you know, it's money for food, isn't it? Or whatever else you need to buy. Or you could buy yourself a treat with the stuff you sell. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be back on food. But you know what I mean? When you've got clothes sat there and things you don't need, it's just pointless. It's wasting space. It's dust, and it's old memories. You don't need them. You need to create new memories. So that's what I would say as well. Create new memories. Like I said, get the paint out, tile or something, draw a new painting for the wall, or buy a new painting for the wall, or, you know, like add some, you know, like like artificial flowers somewhere, or buy, you know, something for your decor, you know, just to make your environment as good as possible and feel good to you, you know, because you need to really, really, you know, feel good about your environment, because you're in it so much more, you know, otherwise you kind of feel like it's all caving in on you, that type of thing, right? So, you know, I really do feel that these things have really helped me lately. And also connect with friends is very important. If you've got really good friends who really are supportive and kind and caring and encourage you to fulfill your goals, ambitions and dreams, talk to these people. They can lift you up, they can energize you, they can support you, you can support each other, you can be looking to the future together, and you can be giving you know, you can be giving each other moral support. It's hard. You know, it's hard to keep a sane brain at the moment. It's hard to keep a sane mind. Stay clear of the news. Do not watch it. I don't watch the news. I don't switch the TV on. I do see some news in my news feed, and I try just to see the bits only that I need to see or feel I have to see. The only reason I need to see it really is because I do have a day job, which I am furloughed from, and I need to know, you know, if the furlough is going to end, when it's going to end, because obviously I, you know, then got to return back to my day job. And so, you know, this is the type of thing I need to look out for, right? So it's very, very important that, you know, that you just don't watch the news. It's full of a lot of stuff that you don't know what's true and what isn't, which is the real truth. You know, like some of the news is like saying, you know, the vaccine's great. Others, this with the news is saying there's side effects and it's actually killing people. So whether you go with a conspiracy theory or you go with the fact it's saving lives or killing people, you know what I mean? It's like, how long's a piece of string? Everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's got their own perspective. The news shows different perspectives, which is the real truth. No one knows. So all you can do is use your own judgment, go with what you think's right for you, which might be different to your friends, and just love your friends anyway, whatever they decide, and just be there and support each other, right? Care for each other, love one another. This is the time when we should be pumping out love, when we should be supporting each other, we should be caring for each other. Human life is the most important thing, right? It's not good if you've lost your job. It's not good, but you have to think, if you're still here and living and breathing, you are blessed, right? When there's thousands of people that don't have their lives anymore. So gratitude is something that really gets you through these tough times. You know, things that you are grateful for. You know, I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to have food in my cupboards and my fridge. I'm grateful to be eating good foods each day. You know, I would strongly say that as well. You know, make sure you've got good food in you as much as possible. You know, food is your fuel, is your fire, is your energy. And, you know, if you want to feel good as possible, you need to be eating healthy, good, nutritious food like potatoes, vegetables, fish, chicken, all these type of things, you know. If you're vegetarian, I'm eating some veggie sausages at the moment, so they're just made from literally rice, like sticky rice and different herbs and everything. They're really nice. I've been having them for is it 3 weeks now, and it's really made a good difference to my diet in terms of an addition that that I don't normally have. It gives me different textures, different tastes. Really look forward to eating them. So as I'm at home more lately, you know, I really look forward to eating these foods that just make me feel so happy and good, and they're so tasty and nutritious and delicious. So, you know, as you are at home more, make sure you're filling your fuel, filling yourself up so you're feeling much better, right? It's very good to fuel the fire of the body and just feel good. And then, you know, make yourself a happy list and do stuff on it. You know, if that's going for a walk for exercise, if it's taking a hot shower, if it's again speaking to friends, you know, like maybe it's a blog post you do, maybe it's a piece of artwork you do. You know, make sure you're doing your hobbies, your interests, you're keeping your passions alive, because remember, we cannot change what's happening globally, right? That most of us can't influence that, right? So we just have to look within ourselves, with our own lives, our own environments, who we come into contact with, what we watch, what we consume, what our bills are, where we can make cuts to cut down on expenditure, where we can save money, where we can enhance our environment. You know, we need to be looking at all this type of thing. Right, you know, I like taking a hot shower. For me, a hot shower just feels so good and refreshing. I'm just like, the water on my skin, the heat on my hair, the shampoo. I have a natural shampoo. It's all feels so good. So whenever I have a shower, which is usually daily, at time I just really, really love. I look forward to it. You know, it's like, oh man, I feel refreshed. I feel invigorated. I feel good. You know. I really feel better for that, you know. And this is a time when you need to take more time out to relax, actually. You know, I am at the moment watching more movies. I'm going through a phase of more movies. I find that watching a movie regularly for me to just like, yes, it is escapism, but sometimes at the moment we need to switch our brain off to everything that's happening outside, right? And we just need to chill. And so one of the ways that I de-stress is by watching a movie, because my mind then goes into the movie, the plot, what's happening. But make sure you're putting movies in your mind that are good. You don't want movies about a vaccine that's killing mass people, for example. That's not going to be good for you, is it? Do you know what I mean? You want something with a happy ending, or something that's intriguing, or something that's like total fantasy and fiction that you know is not going to like happen and affect you. You know, what you put in your brain affects you. So you don't want to start watching things with rape and murders in them, for example, and you know, you don't want death and destruction and all this. Like, you don't want too much of that type of thing going through your mind. In a way, you want it to be kind of like, you know, like a kid's movie, you know, and you need some humour in your life. So you need to be watching some comedy. Maybe that's on YouTube. Maybe it's just a 10-minute funny sketch or funny YouTube video. You know, like, laughter is a really good form of medicine, and that can help you get through these tough times. And really light up your own life. You know, maybe it's a friend you Skype, maybe it's, you know, it is a movie, a comedy that you watch, or maybe you just make yourself laugh, you know, by something silly you did because you went and put your slipper in the fridge or something, and you're like, what am I doing? One of those where's my brain gone moments, that type of thing, you know. So I think it's very good as well, like I said, to practice gratitude, practice what you're thankful for, and just give yourself some love. A fairy bobber. Hello, fairy bobber. Nice to see you. And just give yourself some love, right? Some self-love. One of the affirmations that I really like at the moment that I've started using again for me is believe in yourself, trust yourself, and love yourself 100%. It's nice to see you, fairy bobber. It's a very interesting name. So I believe positive affirmations work a lot, right? They work for me. And this is all about saying positive statements in the present tense as if it was true, even if you don't feel it's true. But when I use this positive affirmation for myself before, I really do end up believing it. I really do feel it. And it's very important if you put your hand on your heart if you can, and feel what you're saying, the words, because it impacts your body a lot more. It vibrates in your soul. So everything is energy, and energy is everything. And if you want to attract like what the affirmation is, and if you want to call it into being, and if you want to believe it, it's more power if you put your hand on your heart doing it. So I say, I love myself. I trust myself. I believe in myself 100%. with my hand on my heart. 100%. And just saying that to myself, I love myself, I trust myself, I believe in myself 100%, because we're all having to make decisions at the moment, aren't we? Some of these decisions are things that are to do with what's happening outside the world, which we don't have control over, and we've got to make our own decisions within our own life about which direction to go in, what to do next, how to play and plan for your life, you know? So it's kind of rocky road, but you know, you can't control, like I said, the out world, only your inner world. And you've just got to believe and trust yourself that you will make the right decisions, that you will get through this, and keep saying to yourself, this time will pass, you will be okay. You will be okay, because you've looked after yourself all this many years to get to the place where you are now in your life, right? This is what you've done. You've looked after yourself all these years. You've taken good care of yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Be rest assured that you would not be able to get through all that life has thrown at you so far if you did not really know how to take care of yourself, right? If you did not know deep within your soul how to look after you, and you do, so you have to believe that. It's hard sometimes if you, like, for example, if part of your life's not going as planned, if it's not something that you actually feel is where you want to be headed, right? This is why I said, back to the first thing I said in this video, is you need to use this as a time for reflection, especially if you're furloughed, if you're off work, and you need to use this time to reflect and think, have I really got the job that I want to do in my life? Have I really spent much time with my friends when I was able to spend time with my friends? Have I spent time with my family when I was able to? What do I do when I'm not on lockdown? What do I do when I don't have to social distance all the time in the future? Where would I like to go? What things do I want to do? Or maybe you liked your time at home. Maybe you've decided you want a job of working from home. You want to cut down doing as many hours outside the home. Maybe you've become more like a hermit. And maybe it feels good to you. Maybe you're like, I remember this time being at home. I actually love spending more time at home. Maybe get a job closer to home. You know, all these type of things that you can do is productive. When you are being productive, you're not stagnating, you're growing. And so when you're growing, you're feeling better about yourself because you're giving yourself some life purpose. You're giving yourself some life purpose. And this is so important. You need to give yourself life purpose. Right? When everything's chaotic around you and it feels like, what's the meaning of life? You need to be giving yourself and your own life meaning and purpose, because that will center you and ground you. And you need to get into service with other people. So, like, for example, thank you for the thumbs up. Lots of love to you. So, for example, I'm on this channel now, and I am talking about ways in which you can deal with difficult times. If you came in partway through this video, please watch it from the beginning after it stopped being live, because it's really worth watching, you know. And by helping other people, I'm helping myself, because I'm connecting with Fairy Bobber on here, and I'm connecting with anyone else who's watching, and we're having a conversation, and this is taking place, which might not have happened had the situation in the world not been the way it was, right? More and more people are actually developing friendships online, and even with the dating scene, right? If you have not focused on a relationship and it's something that you want to focus on, and maybe you've been too busy to work, and maybe you've been too busy at work, to concentrate and focus on a relationship, now's the time to do it. There is more and more people online than ever before. More and more people on dating sites and dating groups and forums than ever before, because more and more people are at home. They've got more time on their hands. So yes, you're going to get the people that are bored. There's a lot of people that are bored at the moment that are online, say, I'm bored in lockdown, please help me. But you're also going to get people who are looking for a relationship and just and they're very serious about it, because they haven't put time, energy and effort into that, because they've been too busy, with their work to take time out for that. But now they're using the reflection, and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to sort a relationship out. What am I going to do? Let's move forward on this. So you've got a great chance of meeting people for a relationship, or even more friends online. If you're in friendship groups or on forums, you can make more friends. And it all starts online usually these days. A lot of the time you can video chat, you can use audio calls to build and grow that relationship. And then hopefully you can meet some of these people in person. And then you have deeper friendships. So although this time might feel a bit catastrophic, is that the word? Although these times may feel like uncertain, right? There's a lot of action steps you can take to try and give yourself some more clarity in your life, right? And, we are going to be able to connect with people more people online than ever before, and this is a great thing. And this is actually, you have to think that everything that happens now, however chaotic it may seem and weird and strange and freak you out, because it does this to a lot of us, right? You have to believe everything happens for a reason, even if you don't know what the reason is right now. And you need to focus on using this time wisely to come out the other side when all this is over, being like having your goals, ambitions and dreams ready to go, knowing what you want to do in your future, having cut down things on your bills, like I said before, change service providers. Perfect time to do it if you're at home, because you can be there to get a new phone line, for example. It's going to be cheaper for you, that type of thing. And you use this time wisely so that when we're all out of this situation, you're in a stronger position to tackle life, to tackle things, in general better, because you're better equipped, because you've had time out to reflect and think and make decisions and choices that's improving your life, improving your environment, improving your relationships, building and growing and developing new ones, So use this time to think positively, to think about all the advantages right now. You're at home more, right? You've got kids. I don't have kids, but maybe you've got kids and you actually get to see your kids now where you didn't before. And you build and grow that relationship with them, and they become closer to you instead of resenting you later on because you haven't spent any time or bothered with them. Then, they actually think, wow, this person's, connected with me. Maybe you've video chatted with your parents or family or friends more. Maybe, you've talking to an old cousin that you've not seen for years. Maybe you've just, developed your business network even online more because you've had more time at home to private message people, All these things are opportunities, and this is what we need to focus on. Opportunities, developing and growing ourselves, reflecting on ourselves, planning for the future, taking control of our immediate presence, de-stressing, decluttering, cutting down on things that we don't need. So cutting down on bills that we don't need to be so high, because we're cutting out things like subscriptions to magazines and Netflix and all this lot that we don't need. And then you're just using your time more wisely to hone down what really matters in your life, because at the end of the day, what matters is happiness, right? What matters is food in your belly and your cupboards, a roof over your head, great friends, beautiful food, an environment you feel good and happy in, and you've got some plans for the future, right? And you may have multiple plans for the future, because you might think, well, that might work out. And you've just got to know that you can go with the flow, that you can test things out now. Test things out now. Sell stuff online, start testing it out. Like I said, I've been saying stuff on Marketplace again. Vinted is a clothing app you can sell stuff on, and you can sell clothes on, accessories. And so there's just things you can do, online courses. Just be great, use this time to your advantage, because you're damn well worth it. And remember what I said about my positive affirmation. I believe in myself, I trust myself, and I love myself 100%. That's what I want you to write down. I love myself, I trust myself, I believe in myself 100%. Put post-it notes all around your home saying that, which is what I'm going to do in a minute when I go off this video. And yes, because I keep saying it to myself, it's an affirmation that I've got back over the last couple of days, but I haven't been writing that out. I've got loads of other affirmations all around my home though, about I feel good, I feel happy, and all that type of thing. So add to your affirmations if you've already got some, and write new ones out. It's really, really good. Say them over and over again, because you've got to brainwash your brain into good stuff, because society brainwashes us into bad stuff, death and destruction, right? We want to rewire or re-brainwash ourselves into things that we want our brain to believe and think and feel good about, so it helps us feel good in our body, right? So we need to be thinking positive stuff as much as we possibly can. Okay, I hope this has been useful, helpful, insightful. If it has in any way, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. If you haven't already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and hit that great big bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live on this Quirky Books TV channel, which is how to live your best life, be your best self, and live your purpose. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Thanks for being the stream fairy, Bobber. Bye. Thanks for the chat.